I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You bet.
No, thanks, Nicholas Handy. That was a tough intro. Funny, I'm testing some audio. Test. Gonna trek it throughout the show and see if it makes much of a difference. I don't know. I mean, should it? We'll see. We'll see what this one here does. This is a pretty aggressive maneuver. Thanks, Nicholas Handy. I was just laughing about Bill Burr. It's not new to me, but I'm new to him in some of his comedy specials, I guess, if that makes sense. And it's been a minute since I've had to pause something that just randomly popped up, and I got to go back and check it out because funny shit this dude is, man. I'm watching his Comedy Moments number 34, and I got about 90. It's a 90-minute segment there, and I got about 60 to go. So the show starts at 5. We'll be done at 6. I got plays popping off at 7. Sounds like I'll get to finish it because my prep's all done. I'm here to give you guys my best bets, some action, information, access to information. We're going to talk cash flow, line moves, splits. I don't know, whatever else we want to talk about. Fuck it. Player props, sharp respected betting information, Major League Baseball. Maybe you caught me earlier today with my friend Sharpie. Sharpie Bets. It's baseball season, baby. He's back. He's ready to attack. He's got the little black book. I'm out there to help cook up the red meat with the ribeyes. I gave a couple of spots out there today. I did something a little different today, too. I gave a little cascading ladder. So I'll talk to you guys about it here through the show. But, man, we do need to get on the move. There's 2 games in the NHL tonight. Got them both covered. Rangers and Leafs, the Bruins and the Sabres. There's 2 games in the NIT. We got them both covered. Illinois State versus Dayton, Nevada versus Auburn. We're going back to the player props. We add a sport. And I'm not sure if I got all 3 sports covered. I got baseball. I got NBA. Not sure if I got anything in the NHL tonight. We'll see. Then we're going to go to the NBA. Wide open card here in the NBA. Lakers and Pacers, Spurs and Grizzlies, Rockets and Timberwolves, Mavericks and Nuggets, Nets and Warriors. We're going to talk about this first game of the Major League Baseball season. The Yankees and the Giants, the Giantes. And we'll close up the show as we do with the sharp respected betting report. Took it in the old short airs last night. What went well? The double dipper in Tulsa? Man, and I felt like we were kicking the day off. No, it's funny. I heard one of the most some of these guys. I tell you, I put kind of YouTube on in the morning, and I'm listening to Ramon Scott. I'm doing my business, and Literally. And literally, figuratively, and literally. And then after that, it kind of pops onto some random other shit, kind of like a similar interest or something like that. So I hear this joker talking about this, if you're steam chasing, it doesn't matter this time of the year. The lines are sharp. Doesn't matter. Just take your side. Listen, it mattered last night in Tulsa, okay? Because 3.5s turned to 4.5s. So I give you guys the number that I've got. We used to look at what was the best event. Listen, sometimes you got to pay up. I had to pay minus 118 to get to minus 3.5. Minus 105s on minus 4.5. Well, you lost. You saved 14 cents, but you actually cost yourself a unit. So the steam does matter, and that's what we're here for. That's why this show is the sharpest one that's out there, because we get all that information that's been floating all day long. Doesn't mean we always win, because we got busted up on the Phoenix Suns-Denver game. We got busted up on the over in the St. Joe's, New Mexico game. The Pit, man, 10.5 points. St. Joe's leading in the first half, losing the game by 15. Cast out. Hockey was tough. Colorado game goes over 6.5. Columbus Blue Jackets win. But it's been a minute since we struck out on all our player props. Marchenko does not score a goal. 3-2 final in that Columbus Blue Jackets game. I told you guys I was a little concerned about the total in that game, because I thought, well, if the Flyers are down, they'll pull the goalie. They weren't down. They were up. And then Columbus came back and won the game. So the under cashes for anybody that had that ticket out there. But Brian Rust shat the bed for the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Brock Nelson, Big Brock C-Rock, does not get over 2.5 shots on goal. He had one, which is surprising because they easily cashed the over 6.5. I'm going to go and try to change this in a dramatic fashion. This one's 30-30. That last one was limiter 25, compressor 50. Now we're going to go to 30-30. Limiter and compressor both at 30. This is a test for me. It's a live test. Sorry, but it is what it is. Player prop-wise, though, in the NBA, we did all right. Maxime Renault gets his three-pointer, man, plus 200. We're dialed into that guy. Sacramento Kings, Charlotte Hornets. Diabate gets 2 assists. Does not go over 2.5 for plus 140. That would have been a nice little spot for us out there, but this is what it is. We lost the golden ticket too. Real disappointment that we lost the golden ticket, because we had cashed 5 in a row, and it was a 3-2 final. I remember texting my MMA Jeff there, my brother. I said, hey, fucked in this game. Detroit scored that early goal, and they called it back. And then bang, bang, 2 goals in there on the other side. So anyhow, we're going to start I got a new golden ticket out there. I got a 25 straight winning trend this season that has been involving, or has been recognized as the golden ticket tonight. So this is the 30-30. I'm going to move this to, let's go 20 on the compressor and 40 on the limiter. Give me an idea to see how this trend is moving. Let's see how my voice sounds as this thing. I hate hearing my own voice. You guys ever do that? You ever sit back and listen? Like, I got to hear my own voice. I try not to watch my own stuff. But that's why it's always tough for me to clip shorts and stuff like that. So in any event, you guys, it is go time. We have a big card to get to. We have a lot to talk about. Plenty of action. This is the eve of the biggest game-changing day of your lives. That's right. Today. You might not have even known it. You might be catching the replay going, God, I caught this replay. I don't even know what he's talking about. Guess what? Tomorrow, 12 p.m., the best, the newest, the brightest, the greatest baseball show on the planet. Be the fastest 50 in baseball. Gonna kick off. Gonna pop the top. See if we can't get them bookies' panties to drop with bases loaded, featuring the Shark and your boy here, Mikey Money. Going after it, you guys. Sides, totals, props, best bets, parlays. Got the overlay finished. Just tightening up a few things for the graphics. I was just thinking to myself, when I get in the lab and I got to develop whatever I got to develop. I'm not a producer guy, right? I do all the graphics here for the shows that we have. And it's not to toot my own horn. It's just that, some guys say they don't know how to do them. I think that's bullshit. But any event, I'm deep in the sauce when I'm finishing up an overlay for a new show, because you get a blank canvas, right? I mean, it basically looks like this. And that's how it starts. And you got to go from there to get to here, or some variation or iteration throughout. So I hope you guys enjoy the new layout for the show tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you catch it during lunch. We're going to do our best to keep it to less than an hour. I talked to my guy Shark today again about it. And we promise you we will be prepped. We will be thorough. We will be professional. We're going to do our best to make some money and cash some tickets, man. We had 150, I can't remember now. Was it 152 and a half or 154 and a half units last year in the Major League Baseball season? Predominantly, it was like 60-40 totals. Anyhow, I know how much everybody loves hearing about winning, so it drives them nuts. And that's what I'm here for. Drive the haters wild, man. Going after it, though, you guys. It's going to be a big night. You know how we kick the night off? We kick it off with a thumbs up button to bless our action. And frankly, I think with the last 2 days of kind of falling off the schneid a little bit, some of you guys aren't doing your job to bless our action. So if you haven't done so already, take a second, smash that thumbs up button. Tell you what, if we can get the show to 50, the winnable plays be a free. The premium plays for free. So make sure you get to 50 likes here. And if it's 50 today, I'll give tomorrow's plays for free. All you got to do is hit that thumbs up button, then get back into the show, and we'll get to work. Okay. I just realized I'm giving free press. We don't give free press around this piece. All right. So this is 40 limiter, 20 compressor. Let's go the other direction here. Let's do 5 limiter, 30 compressor. Let's see what that does for us here as we continue moving. Appreciate you guys bearing with me as we do a live sound check. Drew Scalosa says 50 likes. Let's go. LALV 50 says ready to cash some Dodgers same game parlays. I put one out there for fun. 550 to 1. I think it was 550 to 1. Either 5,500 to 1 or 550 to 1. I think it's 550 to 1. Maybe I'll share that with you guys too. Just fire, just my thoughts, my opinions, my process of how I want to get paid in the sports leagues this evening. So let's kick it right off here. Let's get to work. Let's talk about it. I feel like we're missing something, but that's okay. We always start off with a recap, then we move on in. And the first spot we've got the New York Rangers and the Toronto Maple Leafs, boys and girls. Here's the deal. This is must-win situation. Now, some people talked about yesterday and said, well, just because, I think one of the best comments is must-win doesn't mean we'll win, right? But some people are like, well, the Islanders had to win, and look what they did. Well, in all fairness, dummies, I'm one of those dummies because I was on the Islanders. The Islanders just played the Blue Jackets, who they're fighting for in the playoffs. So, playoffs. So, in hindsight, that was a lose game. Wish I recognized it then. The Bruins and the Leafs. Look, I told you the Leafs make way for some young talent. Surprise, surprise, not surprised. The Flyers are too stupid to know they should lose. They actually lost, but they were trying to win. Vegas is kind of in shambles with the Jets. The Jets are hanging on to a playoff spot. The Red Wings and the Senators are still hanging on. So I guess in hindsight, not too surprised there. The Florida Panthers and the Kraken. I like that over too. Damn it. There's a big trend on the over. I missed it. And the Capitals, they're pretty much relegated. Capitals, 6s and unders. That's going to be a shame when that one goes away this year. So The Sharps were on the Sharks. Man, that was a toast job, dude. 5-1 in the first period. Woo-wee. And then the Kings lost. It's a fucking bloodbath in the NHL last night. The Oilers smoked the Mammoth. What a great price for the Oilers there. And then the Ducks in regulation against the Canucks. The Canucks are that fucking bad. In a day where everything went upside down, the Canucks still ended up getting busted up by the Ducks. 3 goals in the third period. Anyhow, Rangers and Leafs is what I was talking about here. Igor Shesterkin and Joseph Woll. Wall's got a 3.17. Look, I'm not taking the Maple Leafs. The Rangers, if they lose in any way, shape, or form, are officially eliminated from the playoffs. So they do need to win this game. They are playing the Maple Leafs, and I don't care about second leg of back-to-backs or who's coming up next, who's got time. I don't care. I care about the Rangers. I care about the price tag, and I think this is an absolute knockdown, drag-out spot. I think this mirrors the Columbus and Flyers game of yesterday. I bet you to a T with a 3-2 final, Rangers and Leafs. I think it's an exact replica, except the Rangers need this win to stay in, and that's what the Flyers did yesterday. I just think this is a tough spot. So, tough spot for the Leafs. They got their win. The Rangers need this win. They got the goalie advantage with Shesterkin. That's it. He's been playing well. Sub 3 goals against average out there. The Leafs, second leg of the back-to-back, and they beat the Bruins last night. That killed our parlay. Colorado and Boston. Whole world gone upside down and lost their minds. Bruins and the Sabres popping off here for the second game of the card here tonight, you guys. And I don't know. I mean, it's Korpisalo and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Okay. Great start last time for UPL. 4-1 win over the Los Angeles Kings. Here's the deal. While the Sabres are certainly pushing and continuing to push to be the best team in the Atlantic Division, they're playing a Bruins team that lost last night. We know it's bounce back Bruins City this year, particularly at home. But we also know that the Buffalo Sabres have come off of their biggest West Coast trip of the year. They did well. They did lose that last game. We were on the Anaheim Ducks in that last game. They are 22-9-3 at home. Respect. Bruins, look, bounce back home team. They had that 13, 14, 15 game winning streak at home. They're a 500 team on the road. I'm going to go with the outright disrespectful line on these Buffalo Sabres. I still don't buy that they're a 2-1 favorite. I don't. I get it. I see the scores. I see the results. And I'll accept it when they get into the playoffs, and I'll root for them because, Sabres are my regional team. My team are the Flyers. My regional team are the Sabres. You guys know my philosophy on a regional team. That's why I like the Bills. But I'm looking at this game here, and I just think Scorefest, 4-3, probably final. Huge swing, too. It opened at $1.25, minus 150. It's now minus $2 with 91% of the bets in 90. I missed the memo that the Sabres were free money today. So that being said, listen, good luck to them, boys. They should wear the goat head jerseys for the rest of the season. Hell of a trip. Vegas, San Jose, back-to-back shutouts. Then they take down LA, playoff team out there as well. 6-5. Scored a lot of goals, man. The Ducks, if it wasn't for that last couple seconds of that game, Sabres won that game in regulation, but the Ducks wouldn't quit. Bruins, they beat a Winnipeg team. They beat a Detroit team. Those were teams knocking on the playoff door. They snoozed against Toronto because they were in the look-ahead spot here today against the Sabres. I'm taking the Boston Bruins. I give you you want some stats for it. I mean, look, we talk about it all day. The NHL dogs in divisional matchups. It's a 50% win rate, but it's generated 30 units of profit this year. because teams should not be $2 favorites against divisional opponents. They see them too often. The Bruins off a loss are 8-2 in their last 10. 59% win rate, but it's generated 16.5 units. Doesn't happen very often. But profitable situation. And the Sabres against the Atlantic Division, if you fade them, boys. Now, they've been hot lately. Got to give them that. But 132-79 in the fade position out there. Boston on the road against good teams. They're a 500 squad. All these numbers are 500. But if you stick to it, you stay consistent, as I've been all season long. Maybe I'll be the one that's eating shit here, but I'll take a plus 175 on the Boston Bruins. Thanks, sports fanatics. Appreciate that, my dude. Like younger, I wish I was getting younger, dude. Feel like I'm getting older by the second. But but I'm gonna take the dog in this one. Give me the favorite in the Rangers. Give me the dog. I got plus 178 at Caesars on the Boston Bruins. And yeah, listen. It's the way I see this cookie crumbling. How about that? A couple quick NHL rapid fires. What do you guys say? Let's go. Jordy says, I like the Rangers money line. Pachico de Galla's here. Jordy Fuentes is Money Mike. What you think about the San Francisco Giants money line? We'll talk about it. I got some trends for you guys to consider there. J-Main's going to go Sabres puck line. That's what scares me, J-Main. Why do people want to take the Sabres puck line? Because it's a $2 favorite, so it brings the price down in case they lose. I don't know. Listen, I can't root you good luck because I'm on the Bruins. But that's my thought process here, especially coming off that long roadie. Yeah, younger team, but, in this case here, younger doesn't necessarily equate to experience, right? We've seen these teams like the Anaheim Ducks and the San Jose Sharks fall off because we talked about the 60-game mark, right? So these guys got, 15 games left in an 82-game season? That means they played about 65 games, 67 games. What'd I tell you guys? Them young boys don't play more than 60. So when you get first and second-year players, they're still working on conditioning, figuring out their body and how they can manage the strength and the endurance that's required to manage an 82-game NHL season. So I'll put Buffalo in the old fade bucket in this one here and take the Boston Bruins here and root for the best. Not the best team, just hope for the best is probably the best way to describe that. Let's talk some NIT. We got the Redbirds playing the Dayton Flyers. Bunch of aerial assault, and that's exactly why I want to get involved with Dayton. Looking at this squad, looking at this process, looking at these numbers, looking at the fact that there's a home court advantage, looking at the fact, I talked about this yesterday, the 3.5s to 4.5s. I laid 7.5 on Dayton. Now, the total opened at 138.5. It's moved to 141.5. I think that's a little high. I think we see Illinois State comes out here flat. We have 57% of the bets, 61% of the cash on the Dayton Flyers. It did move from 5.5 to 7.5. Now we're seeing 8.5. So I'll bet you it's Kalshi. Yep. Kalshi's got the 8.5 at plus 113. That's always seems to be the case. When you see like the numbers moved a big number, like not, I don't say big number, but that last minute movement out there, plus money opportunity on it, that's Kalshi. That's what it comes down to. But I think in this case here, look, respect what Illinois State did against Wake Forest. But the problem you're facing here, it's a big number. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Nevada game yesterday, and the power guard spot, Bennett and Montgomery. I've always said if you give me a guy that's over 7 feet tall, especially in the center position, I want that team. And that's the Dayton Flyers. Now, some look at it and say, well, the Red, listen, Cinderella's, maybe they can happen in the NIT. Maybe that's the case. I was impressed with Illinois State predominantly in the second half of the season. Their defense, especially what they did against Kent State. I mean, look, Kent State runs with some pace, man. And then getting in the face of Wake Forest, the top seed in the NIT, respect. But I think the time has run out on these guys here. I think the travel wears them down. I think that the Dayton Flyers, inherently in the A-10, they've had a nice little home court advantage on top of it. And, these boys are getting healthy. This Dayton team kind of came together too late in the season to really make a push in the tournament. But look, VCU got him. VCU was in the tournament. VCU advanced. They played some competition. And I think that they're clearly in this position, personnel-wise, player for player, even defensively. They force turnovers. There's a lot of things that they do well. They have the rebounding advantage. They got the big boys. They got the size. They got the personnel. They got the depth. Too much talent for me not to take a Dayton Flyers minus 7.5 to kick this NIT card off. What do you guys say about that? Drew, I'm on the Bruins. Dayton, let's go, says Drew. Appreciate all you guys watching. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. We're live, and there's a replay. So if you haven't caught the show live, your vote, your like still counts in the replay world out there. So we got Nevada and Auburn as the second game in the NIT. And I personally think that Auburn belts the ass of Nevada. I get it, and again, it's another situation where it's a big number. Here's the thing. You have no line movement. First of all, we start with the line. We have 65% of the bets and 75% of the cash on Nevada Wolfpack. I guess it's coming down a little bit, I guess. The total at 152.5, that ain't coming down. 79% of the bets, 75% of the cash on the over. So what happens? Well, to me, what happens here is I think a lot of people are looking at this thing saying it's too many points for an Auburn team. But look, I know I like the conference. I've told you guys about that before. Nevada on the road, 7-8-1. Remember, the NIT, until they get to the Final Four, are playing on home courts for home teams. That is an SEC barn for Auburn and a sub-500 ATS team in Nevada on the road. Seattle, you guys have heard me talk. Here's where it kind of got me going, right? They didn't cover the spread, 14.5 against Seattle. But what do we know about Seattle? They were incredibly capable of covering spreads throughout the season. But moreover, Seattle's an under team. And Auburn put up a 98-91 pack on them. So if they have to play defense like, South Alabama, 78-67, the game stays under the total. 151.5, you put them at 145.5 against an under squad, and they go out there and dictate pace. This Auburn team is capable of doing what they want. Now, Liberty in Nevada, Liberty got nuked is what happened, right? They were 7.5-point dogs. They lost by a 10 spot. Bear in mind, where was that game? Good at home, not so much on the road. I think this is just a tough, tricky little opportunity. And you know what I'm going to do with this game, though? I'm going to go to the total. I'm going to play the under because I believe that Nevada, despite the fact that they play poor defense, I feel like Nevada wants to go out there and throw the three ball. And yesterday I was in love with the three ball. Auburn, I'd imagine at this point, like I was talking earlier today with somebody and we were saying, it's hard to find the motivation for these NIT games. I think at this point, when you're in the quarterfinals, you're pretty fucking motivated. I don't like, the thing about this is it's strange to me because you kind of question the motivation and then you see a bunch of opt-outs for Auburn. Murphy decides for some reason I'm better than this, but they've been able to find a way to fill the gap. Jovic and Adams. Why not? And they're both 6'8", big numbers, things I like. Defensive efficiency wise, the Tigers do rank 120th. Teams do shoot a better 37% from the three against them. That's why I said I think this game comes down to a situation where Nevada's going to want to roll on the road, throw that three ball out there, and that's where pace and turnovers just start beating you down. And that's what we saw in the second half of that game yesterday with New Mexico. Just can't keep up. the ISO scores that they have. I mean, listen, I just think it's gonna be a gritty, grindy game here. If you like the dog, you play the first half. Do yourself a favor, because I think we see a situation where this team separates in the second. Like double-digit wins. I just think that Camper Jr., I mean, the dude's fucking busting out triple doubles. He's the sole guy that's really out there crushing it. So I think this, here's the thing with the Wolfpack. Not a big three team 32% of the time, but they've been just getting lucky with 36% of them going in. And guess what? Those were home games. Road gym, road rim. Not a great rebounding team. I think this is a good opportunity for us to take a shot with Auburn. What say you guys? What do you think about that? Shout out to everybody that's up in here. Let's go. Drew Scalosa says -7.5 Dayton. Big crypto. Personally, I'm on Auburn in the NIT today. Auburn 4-16 ATS recently. Drew Scalosa, moneyline parlay, Auburn and Dayton. I like that. Wonder what that pays. It's got to be around -110, right? I like that play. Kelly V, still on the basketball teasers, though, KV. I don't know. I guess it would have made a difference yesterday. She says, under in Golden State. Together can add 2 goals each in regulation. Boston NHL game. Miami at Cleveland today and Friday. Same venue info. Shut the Sharky Waters Nation. You guys, tomorrow at 12 p.m., your lives will permanently change for the better. The sharpest tag team duo in the land is going to pop off and give you guys a full Major League Baseball card analysis. We'll give you a play of the day. We'll give you a parlay. We'll give you some props. All the things you need to get yourself in baseball shape this season here. We do have a game tonight, so we will talk about that. But let's talk some player props here as we advance through the card. I told you yesterday was the first time that we kind of really... I don't have anything in the NHL today, as it turns out. Here's what I did. So I gave a couple out. I'll share it with you guys. I like Chisholm and Stanton to get hits today. Specifically when you look at when they're playing against, the lefty-righty matchups, they have the edge. Let me pull the numbers up. Where did it go? Bear with me. As I advance, here we go, starting lineups. Used to write all this stuff down, then they automated it. Create greater internal efficiency. And Chisholm. He's got himself a 231 against Logan Webb. Stanton's only got a 167 here. But the thing about these guys, 5 and 6 position, lefty-righty matchup. Outside of Aaron Judge, the best guy on the team, Giancarlo Stanton. Jazz Chisholm comes in there. I mean, there's a lot of guys that hit really well against righties, of course. But where does Logan Webb struggle? It's against lefties. He's at 286. So I parlayed these two together. I got a plus 156 just to get a hit. One hit out of each of them boys. Then I added Raphael. Why Raphael? Well, because Raphael's got experience. He was brought in as a San Francisco guy at the deadline last season to help them try to make the postseason. And remember, he had that bad attitude. He had that bad dude situation going on in Boston. But he rolls out to San Francisco and he starts popping the ball. And I think he's been brought in there as they overhaul this lineup. I mean, they've got Arise, they've got Chapman, they've got Raphael, they've got Adames, they've got Helio Ramos was supposed to be in the 1 position. He got moved to the 6 position. So in any event, I like the experience that he has as a former Red Sox against the Yankees. Sees him plenty. Give me some Raphael. And then I added to that. So if you go Jazz, Stanton, and Raphael, it's plus 290 to get a hit. And then I added Cody Bellinger to it, plus 445. Okay. That was a little 4-leg cascade. I call that a cascading waterfall. 2, then 3, then 4 legs. Now, those are big, juicy player. All they got to do is get a hit. Official for the show, I wanted to bring something new in here for you guys as well. Look, I took those last 2 legs. I've got them graded very high on the dashboard. Despite the fact that Devers only has a 185 against lefties, I still think that experience against Max Fried makes a difference. And so with Raphael to get a hit, Cody Bellinger. Why Bellinger? Well, Bellinger used to be a Dodger. Dodgers played a shit ton of San Francisco Giants. So I kind of took players that have the familiarity against their pitchers and show the stats and the metrics to prove it. So Cody Bellinger to get a hit, Rafael Devers to get a hit, plus 143 was the player prop for the Major League Baseball side of things here. And, excuse me. In the NBA, I'm going to go to Reed Shepherd. There's a little name for you guys. You're probably like, who? Huh? What? Reed Shepherd. Excuse me. Rockets Timberwolves matchup out there. And I'm just kind of reading the tea leaves. Last game's out. We saw a shit ton of minutes, 40 minutes by KD. He put up 40 points. We saw 30 minutes by Sengun. He put up 33 points. So lots of minutes. But Jabari Smith goes down. Can't get it figured out. And so Reed Shepherd, despite this dude coming off the benches last game, he had 19 minutes. He put up 14 points. Post-game, what did KD say? Anybody know? I'll tell you. Got to work the ball around more. I got to get other guys involved. And so I think that guy is Reed Shepherd tonight. Over 15.5 points, minus 105. It was 14.5. It's moved to 15.5. He's averaging the numbers with the minutes. That's the spot we want to get after. And that'll be the second player prop that I give you guys today. So there we go. Let's go. Let's see. Sharky, very active in the chat here. Says, see contrarian over in this game. 5 p.m. start, not pitcher friendly. Going to have shadows. Potentially have shadows. Drew Scolo says, nice angle, Sharpie, and bullpen should give up runs. The San Francisco's bullpen is fucking brutal. We'll talk about the game here momentarily. Got a little fingerprint or something on the right side of the glass. Papa Ricky says, Pimp Slap Giants 1-10 as a dog home openers since 05. Max Fried 16-2 in March. April opponents hitting 209, averaging 267 a game. Mr. Weskers likes the Wolves. Let's go. All right, let's get into this action here. Lakers and Pacers. I'm going to take the Pacers. I'm going to try to be a little, I don't know if I want to use the word contrarian. Is it a contrarian play? I mean, we got a big number on these Lakers. We know with Luka Gate that the Lakers went on fire. They ripped off, 7 wins? And, on top of that, he's pounding the snot out of Madeline Klein, right? Hard not to like what that fella's got going out there. 73% of the bets, 80% of the cash came in on the Pacers. The line came down 5 points. Thing about this Pacers team, since the boys have gotten reasonably healthy, right? They've been firing. They beat up Orlando Magic. Everybody liked the Orlando Magic the other day. They're 10.5-point dogs. They won outright. Back-to-back roadies out there. Now, look, they've covered 3 games in a row. You can't put the right number on them, fellas. And I feel like this is an exhale, a collective exhale. The Lakers are going to be on the road again. This is their 6th straight road game. Now, NBA shares an unconventional wisdom or unconventional logic. I think, I don't know how to put it. They like being on extended road trips. They're away from home. They got the side pieces, right? I'm not talking about chicken nuggets. And when they're on the road for more than if it's the 4th game or more, teams in the NBA are 293 and 195. Kind of defies conventional wisdom because these boys play 30 minutes plus. And you would just think you get exhausted, especially it's not so much even the travel. Think about all that goes into the travel, like flying on an airplane. Dude, if I fly to, I used to take a lot of business trips. If I fly to Vegas from the Northeast, back of my legs get tight. My calves get tight, man. Now think about doing that 5-6 times in a row. I don't care if you have all the best, physical therapists and technicians in the game out there. I still do think there is something that goes into this equation. And despite that fact that teams seem to smash when they stay on the road an extended period of time, boys are rolling dice, having a good time, playing cards with each other, going out, finding side pieces in different cities. Who knows? You know what they say, different areas. But underdogs against playoff teams are successful, 171 and 127. Simply put, they show up. Underdogs, specifically against the Lakers, coming off a road game, are 13-4. When they go back home, think about it. This one makes a lot of sense to me. The Lakers are such a public team, not in today's case, but they're such a public team. Everybody loves the Lakers. Everybody knows the yellow and purple. Everybody knows LeBron and Luka. So every time you go out on the road, every team's bringing their best against you, and the fans are excited. They're jacked up. They're dialed in, even if you're not. So I think the combination of extended road trip, the fact that the sharp money's coming in on the Pacers, the fact that the Lakers are kind of post that Babygate situation out there with Luka gives me enough confidence to want to take the Pacers here. I don't think it's wrong team favored. There is a spot I think is wrong team favored. You can find that over on the golden ticket, but I'm going to take the Pacers. Pacers going to run with some pace. Let's see. Sharky Water says Lakers Indy over. Kelly V says Wemby 20 minutes, 30 points. January game where Memphis won 106-105. Other two games were without Wemby. Today, Wemby over points. Lakers off a loss, Indy off a win. Lakers need win just because they need it doesn't mean they get it, as we saw in the NHL. Sharky Water says Lakers off back-to-back unders in playoff-style games at Orlando and at Detroit. Letdown spot here speaks to wide open run. Tons of points. And the Pacers run with pace. To me, this is more of an issue of the books haven't readjusted to the Pacers getting personnel back that have helped them run with that pace again. Remember, most of the year they were banged up. They were busted up, injured. Onward. Upward. Let's go on to the Spurs and Grizzlies. I got some intersecting zeros for you guys in this spot here. You may or may not like it. It depends on your take from a totals perspective, but I'm not going to monkey around with the side. It's a lofty number. It's probably lofty for a reason. The Spurs should probably kick the snot out of the upcoming NBA champions, San Antonio Spurs. Probably beat the snot out of the Memphis Grizzlies. 62% of the bet, 71% of the cash. Here's an opportunity. 93% of the bets, 92% of the cash have come in on the over. Massive, absolutely massive numbers to the over. Lines come down 2 points. If that's not a giant red fucking flag, I don't know what else is. Now, let me add a little context to this as well here, because the Spurs are a perfect 10-0 to the under. Not after a non-conference game, more than 13 three-pointers, less than 50% shooting. In other words, they cook the books. They overinflate the number. And you want to talk about overinflation? It comes down by 17 points a game on average is the margin. They should nuke this under. And all that cash coming in on the over and it's going down tells you there's a lot of room for error in that bookmaking number out there. The Grizzlies intersect the zeros, 17-0 to the under. More than a 3-point dog. Totals over 212.5. They allowed an absolute gutting the previous game. Gutting as defined by more than 126 points, more than 91 field goals being attempted. In other words, when the Grizzlies went night-night, no defense, they're 17-0 to the under because the books don't know how to put their hands back around a correct number. Maybe it's part tank. But the average they're scoring are 219. Still gives us a lofty double-digit margin to the under. It's the margins business that we play in here, and having 10-plus points in our back pocket is a huge opportunity for us. We're going to take the under in this Memphis Grizzlies game out there. That total is 223.5. And I know you're probably sitting there saying, actually, sorry, wrong spot. Wrong spot. 233.5 in that Memphis Grizzlies game out there. And again, if it is a blowout, my concern is the books are saying the Spurs beat the snot out of the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies showed that they are apathetic on defense. So I think the back door opens up for Memphis. I don't know. I mean, I guess we've seen some of these teams win by 25, 30 points. I'm not going to mess with the side, though. It's a total business only for me in the NBA on that game itself. So Sharky Waters thinks the Lakers put up 150. Well, if they do that, then the Pacers need to put up at least 141. Let's go Rockets and Timberwolves for the next spot on the card, you guys. And appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Live Monday through Friday, doing it for you guys at 5 p.m. All I ask you to do in return is smash that thumbs up button. By the way, the Spurs are 11-0 if the opponent has rest and the opponent allowed 110 points or more their previous game. And they do smoke them by 19.7 points a game in those spots. So, yikes. Rockets have been cashing some under tickets for me. The Houston Rockets squaring off against the Minnesota Timberwolves here. Let's see, 4606. And, looking at this Rockets-Timberwolves game here, I've been making a ton of cash with the Rockets unders, and I don't think it changes in this game here. I do have a look to the side here as far as who I do think is going to come out on the win club side of things here. But, man, it's just kind of felt to me like, listen, where do we not want to be playing? Overs. I don't want to count on the Timberwolves to do shit. And I don't want to count on the Rockets to do shit either. And that puts me in a position where if I don't have confidence in either team, then I think we get sweaty hands, loose balls, plenty of takeaways, but missed opportunities. And, the fact is when you get two decent teams playing against each other towards the end of the season in the NBA, the unders cashed 7 of the last 10 times. Decent teams is defined by the 60% win ratio. Pretty big number. Western Conference, by the way, for whatever reason, and maybe it's because the West is maybe more, is it fair to say it's more competitively balanced? The West, however, late in the season, so the last quarter of the season, the unders over the last 10 years have cashed almost 72% of the time. Kind of a quirky little factor there, but when you've got the Rockets in the second half of the season, like the Christmas break, right? Kind of defined by the Christmas break, the second half of the season when the NBA gets going, this year particularly, the Rockets are 16-4 to the under. I told you, when they're in a favored role, the under has been reigning supreme. 16-4, them boys are to the under. So yeah, going to take advantage of this spot here. Going to ride this wave. What up? Razor Sharp Picks in the house. There's my guy. Checking in, doing his thing out there. Appreciate you, Razor. The old RSPN. Kelly V says Houston 4th game in 6 nights as well. Excellent contributions, one and all. Let's move on. Let's talk about some Mavericks and Nuggets. This is a little spot that felt uncomfortable. And because it felt uncomfortable, I felt like it was a pretty good opportunity to get involved. Up one money. What up, my guy? Good to see you here as well. Appreciate everybody checking in with us, man. Good to see the squad filling up, boys and girls. Love to see it, especially given the transition here. We're running low on sports. Another couple months, we can have squat. But baseball, and of course, the deal with baseball. Smashed it, cashed it last season. We'll put the tag on it and see if we can do it again here. Mavericks tonight. How about this? In a high-scoring affair, the home team? I don't know. You want to fade them boys. Kind of run out of gas. I don't know if they run out of gas as much as the defense shuts down. That's where we have talked about the second leg of a back-to-back, and do we see defense? I don't know if it matters so much about the I don't know. Here's what it comes down to. You fade them. You fade the home team. Second leg of a back-to-back if the last game had a ton of points. It's not my rule. It's an NBA rule. It's a 30-year rule. You're 70-33 in those positions. So the opponent scored over 120 points the previous day, second leg of a back-to-back. Teams on the road against the home squad out there. It's kind of complacency. You just put up the points. You're at home. You're lazy. And over 30 years, not yesterday, not last year, not, hey, we got a database in place for 2 years now. Let's go talk to you about why these games are going to win. No, 30 years, 70-33 says the Dallas Mavericks go out there and, crack him in the skull. Maybe not win the game outright, although it wouldn't surprise me. It's just tough to count on the Mavericks. But at 12.5 points, I'll count on them. By the way, underdogs, second leg of a back-to-back, awful loss, the motivation factor. Now, it's not a huge win percentage, but they mismarked these teams. So a 24.4 win percentage over the last 4 years still generated 46 units. So if you wanted to get cute and throw a couple dollars on the Mavericks money line, listen, if you play it consistently over the long haul, it's like we talked about with the Boston Bruins, you're going to win. Not advocating anybody does that here. I'm going to take the points in my back pocket with a 30-year validation, substantiation to say, okay, Dallas Mavericks keep it in game with these Denver Nuggets. And then last but not least, we got the Nets and Warriors. Now, listen, I talked about this net spot. Nobody called it better when I said they put up 122 points against, I can't remember. No, was it the Spurs? Anyways, it was the Kings, the shit Sacktown Kings, right? And I was like, well, because they couldn't get to 100 points, they were getting team totals of 99.5, right? Then they made it 100.5 because they put up 122 points against the Kings. So the next game, we took the under on their team total, and we needed it because it went to 99. Easy to look at this. First of all, I'm not laying 12.5 points with the Golden State Warriors at home. They might go out there and bludgeon these guys by 25, 30 points, and that's fine. And I'll own it because I'm just not laying those points I've seen the body language of the boys on the Warriors. I think everybody is sick and tired of listening to Draymond run his fucking mouth. I mean, you saw it. Steph Curry's like, shut the fuck up, dude. And he's not even playing. He's just sitting there like disengaged is what I see from reading these guys' body language. So you want to back a team like that to go out there and crack a 12.5 spot? I don't know, man. The pressure's off the Nets. And they're finding triple-digit scores. I don't know. 94% of the bets, 94% of the cash are on the over in this game. I'm going to play the over. I feel like that's a little contrarian because, probably everyone's sitting there going, well, how the hell are they going to put up all those points? I don't know. Late season, NBA favorites against bad defenses are 16-5 to the over this year. 21 games, 16 times it's gone over when it's late in the year, this season particularly. And I think this line's come down. I mean, shit, there's 2 16.5s out there. That's 7 points off the open. Guys, we're moving these numbers too much. They're just moving too much. Double-digit movement from where the books open it gives you that margin that I'm comfortable with here. Even if the Brooklyn Nets put up 99 points, think about it. 99 points, that means that the Golden State Warriors need to get 112 to win the game and cover. Well, that in itself is, 211 points. Only leaves us 5.5 off the number. So I think we got a good shot here. And if the Golden State Warriors do go off and cover the spread, then God bless them, because that just means we're going to get that total. I think what we've seen is the Nets get their 98, 99. And I do think you're going into a new building in Golden State. You're fired up a little bit. The pressure's off. Fuck defense. Let's just go out there and try to Harlem Globetrotter this shit and show the fans a show. So I'm going to take the total 113.99. There's an exact score call. I got 2 exact score calls tonight. Let's go, Shark. Let's talk some baseball real quick, you guys. I did some player prop breakdowns over there with my guy Sharpie this morning. That's going to get confusing because I almost called him Shark this morning. So in any event, I gave you guys some player props that I like here tonight. I gave you some of the players that are on the radar. I think this first 5 goes under 3.5. So as it turns out, from BetMGM, the entire planet likes the Yankees. I get that. And everybody's seen the San Francisco Giants numbers. There's a model, there's a database I want to fade a little bit because it's just a couple years old. And I think that this is like year 3 or so of seeing what says it should be a Yankee. I'm concerned a little bit about the Yankees today. Now, listen. The fucking Yankees are stacked, man. If you're going to take, I'm not a big futures guy, although Kalshi has changed that a little bit. But if you're going to take a team to win it all, man, it's got to look at the Yankees. Although the AL East is kind of loaded for bear this year. The Red Sox sucked at the deadline. They sold their pieces away. They also had that bad egg in their locker room in Rafael. Remember the fight for first base? Anyways, opening day, the better team against the weaker team previous season are 81-39. They've cashed 6 straight times. Now, from a total perspective, opening day, the road team is favored to win the first game of the season. That's the Yankees. The overs cashed 8 straight years. 8 straight years. And we got a 7. I like the first 5 under 3.5. I got even money on that 3.5. It's moved up to minus 115. So we're seeing a little steamage come into this thing. Problem I have with that is when we pull out the starting pitchers, particularly Logan Webb, the bullpen for San Francisco, I think, is going to be problematic this year. I don't think that's a real bullpen. I mean, sure, they're real players with real contracts, but you understand what I'm saying. I don't know that they cut the mustard. And I think that's where, like, I could even see a situation where San Francisco goes up like 1-0 early, manages the process through the first 5, and then, like, you know, they'll probably do something stupid, like leave Webb in there too long, and then he starts just getting smashed around. And then, you know, it gets ugly and the Yankees destroy him. So I do think the Yankees end up getting the win. I can't get there on the side, though. Maybe I will. I did a fun fuck around same game parlay. I'll share it with you guys just for kicks. Let's see what I had. And it's just for kicks because the first 5 under 3.5 is my favorite play of the board here on the baseball. Favorite play of the baseball board. There's one game on the board. It's my favorite baseball play. It's the play. The first 5 under 3.5. But for kicks, $5.50 to 1. So in other words, $1 would pay you $550. I took the Yankees money line. I took Max Fried over 16.5 outs. That means that he's pitching into the 6th inning. He's pitching to the bottom of the 6th inning. I took Cody Bellinger to get a triple, and I took Matt Chapman to get a home run. Chapman because he's been doing it well. Last year, Chapman came out on fire. Fucking absolutely killed it with the A's and got himself a little promotion to a real baseball team. Although I'd still want to be on the Athletics because of that Vegas stadium they're building. And then Cody Bellinger to get a triple just because of his, again, familiarity coming from the Dodgers now. And I get it. And he's been on fire with the Yankees, you know, so I think Cody Bellinger to get the triple, Matt Chapman home run. Yankees money line, Max Fried over 16.5 outs. That'll probably be the only way I play the game. Besides the first 5 under 3.5. Just because I just don't like the spot, you know. I see the Giants. I know everyone's saying they don't win the first game of the series. Well, it's coming up on double digits. And when we get to double digits, I want to fade. It's just a difficult spot for me to jump into. So first 5 under 3.5 for you guys there. And whenever I'm coin flippy on both sides, I just can't in right conscience give you guys. I tell you what I played. Threw $25 on that big monster to get a nice little return. You know, if I can pick up over, you know, you can figure it out. So Kelly V says ballsy in that stadium. You know the thing about it, Kelly V? We just talked about the shadows, the time of the day for this thing. I think the familiarity. It's a fun play. But we'll play it like that anyhow and see how it goes. But just a fun play. Like I said, I like the first 5 under more than not. Couple things to think about with baseball. Most runs in baseball are scored in the first inning. Think about it. How often do we see a pitcher goes out there, shits the bed, and then recovers after that first inning? Shuts everybody down for 5 more innings, right? Number of teams, 2/3 of the league, find a lot of their baseball success in the aggregate between innings 4, 5, and 6. So that middle third of the game, they dig in. That's where general managers leave the managers leave the pitchers in too long, and something stupid happens. The bullpen's not very strong. They're mixing up the arms. They're not sure. They put the wrong guys. Just bad decision making leads to 4, 5, and 6 being a good aggregate if you're thinking about live betting or looking for player props. And if you like some of these guys to get hits or home runs or RBIs, look, wait for the first run to go through. Right? Like top 4 or 5 of the order are going to get 4 times at bat, right? Well, wait for one of them to come off the schneid there, because a minus 160 hit prop becomes just about minus 105 or plus 105 if they got struck out that first time through the order. So bear that in mind. That's right, Kelly V. It's up to everybody. Check your is freed. Last year wasn't locked in first few starts either. Ready to go. Kelly V says Atlanta beat a bunch of crappy teams. They have tough opponents coming up. See what the Hawks are made of. Like that comment there as well. And she's sharing a little Ramon Scott trend. 10 of 12 series over Major League Baseball tonight. 10 of 12 series over. In this series between the Giants and I'm not sure. Not sure what that is, but okay. Love it. Appreciate everybody's contributions, man. Let's go. The Rockets are 0-10 as a rested road favorite. I wanted to share that one with you guys too. That note just popped up as a reminder for me. Let's talk some sharp respected betting, and then let's put the bow on the show. Let's see. 324 was yesterday. They had the New York Knickerbockers minus 8.5. I should have looked I did look earlier. For some reason I'm brain fried. I'm frazzle dripped. Whoa, I'm not frazzle dripped. What? Can you even say that? The Knicks won by 5. So they took the L. The Orlando Cleveland under 230, way over the number out there. So tough day for him yesterday. But in the NBA today, they like the Pacers. Look at that. Pacers plus 9.5. They're like that Memphis San Antonio Spurs under 232.5 as well. They're riding my trends. Trends are our friends, man. Let's go after it. And then in the NHL, they did take the New York Rangers. No totals, just the Rangers. Yesterday in the NHL, they had the Sharks. Couldn't have been any more wrong. They had the Flyers and the Blue Jackets under 6. And then remember, they had the Ottawa Senators. Snuck in that Senators play on us out there. So they like them Rangers baseball-wise. No, that's not true. All these plays are for tomorrow. We'll save those for the best damn baseball show out there. They got the Giants tonight under 7 as a reverse line movement play, and they have been firing on those spots. So keep that in mind here for baseball. Lots of unders tomorrow. If you like an over tomorrow, you better look again. Nothing to report in college basketball. I gave you guys yesterday Duke and Iowa were the 2 spots that they liked out there from a side perspective. So that be the way we're going to put the bow on the show, everybody. Thank you guys all. Nice job. Good work, everybody. Thank you guys all for showing up. Appreciate you guys. And we'll be back to do it again tomorrow at 5 p.m. But we got a new show starting tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be the best damn baseball show on the planet. It's called Bases Loaded. I like the name. Makes me smile just saying it. I like talking baseball. Gonna see if we can't get the quest for 200 units. Eluded us last year. We had it, and we couldn't quite get it there with that 150. I think it was 154 units. Nonetheless, everything was flat bet. Didn't fuck around. Remember, we had those 235 to back-to-back Fridays with 235 or 40-1 parlays. Remember that? Didn't even count those. Just fucking, there you go. Let's have these anyways. Let's make it happen again, you guys. Thank you all for watching on behalf of the Sports Money Network. Catch Ramon Scott at 9 a.m. Catch me at 12 p.m. and 5 p.m. tomorrow. You can catch the VB MMA Pick Show, one of the best in the world to cap the MMA, giving you UFC Seattle main event, co-main event, and a bonus, usually the main event of the prelims for you guys to get ready for that big Saturday UFC card in Seattle. Fight Night, Seattle. Catch that VB MMA Pick Show with Ramon Scott. And thumbs up if you guys are watching on the replay. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure you leave a comment after the show with your favorite bet. I appreciate all you guys that do. And until then.